Still, we're going to stay with the quarterbacks. But, the importance of the third string quarterback battle, we have all eyes are focused on the ones and two, the job for number one between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. But there's a battle brewing at three between Nate Sudfeld and Josh Rosen. When you look at that, why do you think that's so important?
It's important because we keep talking about what's going to happen at one. And if Trey Lance wins the job, what happens with Jimmy G? And there's a chance that Jimmy's not on this roster, whether it's week one or before the trade deadline or what have you. And if he's not on this roster, that quarterback battle for number three is your backup quarterback at that point. And so it is very important that these guys get some burn, especially in the preseason, and to figure out which one of them can take over that quarterback three spot, get a stranglehold on it, and may eventually be the number two quarterback. Now, I'm not as stressed out about it as some Niner fans are. If Trey's starting, I'm not worried about the injury thing. I know that 49er fans are a little bit gun shy to get rid of Jimmy, really, even if he's not the starter, because they're like, well, what if Trey Lance goes down? Then what? Most teams don't think like this. I don't think the Packers fans, I don't think the Patriots fans and now the Buccaneers fans or the Chiefs fans or any of these fan bases, the Bills fans, I don't think they care who their backup quarterback is. It matters who the starter is. And from there, yes, it is nice to have a competent backup just in case. But usually if your starting quarterback goes out, no matter what, there's going to be a major drop-off. And usually that drop-off is not enough for you to continue doing what you're doing. The Eagles, yes, caught magic a few years back, going from Wentz to Foles. That is not the norm. That's an anomaly, and it is what it is. So regardless, if you go from Trey Lance even to Jimmy Garoppolo, that's going to be a huge drop-off. So to me, it's not as important. If Garoppolo's off this team, I'm not so worried about not having him as the backup, but I am interested to see who wins this QB3 battle because, like I said, that eventually could be our backup quarterback, and that's important.
Yeah, and based off of what I've seen in camp so far, I don't think that whoever it is, whether it's Josh Rosen or Nate Sudfeld, is really making it to where the 49ers are going to want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and make any kind of a trade with him at this point. They haven't been consistent enough. I understand part of it's because they don't get nearly as many reps because, the ones get their 4 reps, and then it's the 2s, and then the 3, they got those 2, Rosen and Sudfeld, are having to actually split the 3rd reps. So they're getting, not only are they getting fewer reps than the first 2, but they're getting half of, even half of that. So
yeah,
they're just not getting enough time. But I do the importance of that, and it might not even be for 2021. It might be for 2022 because we know that Garoppolo isn't going to be back next year, especially if Lance, becomes what everybody's expecting him to be. There's going to be some kind of movement with him before next season. So, yeah, it's definitely a battle to find out if there's one of those 2 guys who's going to be able to come back and they're going to want to re-sign them next year because neither one of them are signed for next year as well, neither Sudfeld or Rosen. So there's definitely some importance there to that one. And we're going to see a lot of those guys, I think, on Saturday next week when they go up against Kansas City. Those 2 will probably split the second half would be my guess. And, it's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on because one of those guys is going to be your 3rd and possibly even be your starting quarterback. I think there's a really good chance that all 4 of these guys end up on the roster in some way, whether they're on the active or on the practice squad with the new changes that they made.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see that happening. And quite frankly, if you throw a Rosen, let's say, on the practice squad, I really doubt many teams are going to be clamoring to pick him up. So you're probably okay there.
Yeah, same thing with Sudfeld. I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to be, really trying to grab them because I think at that point, if you pull those guys, you've got to put them on your active roster. So I don't think they're going to want to do that with those guys anyway. So, and then Luke heard your response and he liked that. He said that your comp is a good one. Take the best of Alex Smith and the best of Colin Kaepernick, get rid of all the bad, and that's the comp that he goes with. So
for sure.
So give you a point for that one.